Have you ever looked back on a chapter in your life and realized that you were chasing all the wrong things? That was me. For years, I let fear, pressure, anxiety steer every decision that I made without even realizing it. It wasn't one big moment that put me confidently back in that driver's seat, though. It started with something much smaller. A shift that I could barely name at first. A new mindset beginning to emerge. A habit of noticing the currents pulling at the wheel throughout my day, and a way to take back control. If you've ever felt like you were doing everything right, but somehow steering your life into more pressure, more doubt, more exhaustion, well, you're not alone. For most of my adult life, I measured my value by how much I could carry. The more I pushed, the more valuable I believed that I was. And for the longest time, it worked on the surface. I got promotions, more responsibilities, but underneath, there was always this quiet undercurrent of fear. Fear that if I stopped proving myself, I'd stop being worthy altogether. If any of that sounds familiar to you, if you've ever felt like you're living your life steered by pressure instead of purpose, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's the biggest pressure that you're personally carrying right now? I read every single comment, and they really do help me keep building tools to serve you better. So it's 9 a.m. I'm sitting in a Zoom call with my team, with my direct reports. It's the kind of meeting I've had hundreds or even thousands of times at this point in my career. And I already know the pattern. There's a big deadline coming. Expectations are through the roof. Pressure is mounting. That version of me from a year prior, he would have done what he always did. Absorb that stress, carry that weight, keep the team afloat by shouldering everything himself. Because that's how I thought that I proved my value. If I came upstairs at the end of the night with blurry vision and aching lower back, it meant that I put in work and I matter, you know? I was the ox. I was the one who never broke, the one who kept pulling no matter what. But on this day, something is drastically different. I'm still in the meeting, still present, still offering my support, but instead of reaching for that weight myself, I'm watching. I'm watching my teammates divide up the work amongst themselves. I'm watching them problem solve. I'm watching them take initiative. And for the first time, I don't feel that old reflex kick in, you know? The fear that it'll all fall apart if I don't jump right in. I feel something else. Pride in my team's progress, relief, gratitude even. And later that day, when I sat down to reflect a little bit, something happened that hadn't happened before. I asked myself a simple question. What emotion was steering me during that meeting? Not what I did, not what I said, just what emotion was present for me. And that one question, that 5-second realization, became the beginning of everything for me. I started writing my emotions down. A few times a day, I'd pause and I'd ask myself, what is it that I'm feeling right now? What just triggered that feeling? And where am I acting from? Is it fear or something deeper? Not to fix anything, just to see it. And what I started to notice was that there were patterns. Certain times of the day, certain kinds of tasks, certain inner voices that would, contribute to a spiral. And over time, those check-ins became something much bigger. They became a mirror, a compass even, a way of steering with intention, not anxiety. That's what gave me my power back, really. Not a breakthrough or a master plan, just a simple habit of asking, what's steering me right now? And then writing down what I saw. The mindset that changed my life wasn't complicated. It wasn't flashy. It was simple. I stopped letting unconscious emotions steer my life. Instead, I started noticing them. That's it. That's the shift. Most people don't even realize it, but the real driver behind so many of our choices in life is not logic. It's negative emotions. It's stories we've absorbed so deeply that we don't even hear them anymore. The current compass is about building one small habit, the habit of noticing the current that you're riding before it carries you somewhere you don't even want to go. It's not about judgment or control, it's about awareness. And if you want to start building that awareness, I've created a free tool to help you. It's called the Current Compass Log. You'll find it in a link in the description below. It's very simple. A few times a day, your discretion, you pause. You name the emotion that's steering you in that moment. You jot it down. The trigger, if you notice it, and any thoughts that are riding along the way. And over time, you'll start to see your own patterns. You'll start to feel when you're drifting. You'll start to remember that you have a choice. You'll start living from your center and not from the currents that are pulling at the wheel. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to start noticing. Because when you change what steers you, you change everything that you're moving towards. You don't have to overhaul your entire life today. You don't need to fix everything all at once. You just need to start asking, what's steering me right now? That one question has changed how I move through my day, how I lead, how I live, really. So take a breath, check in, write it down. Because the more often you ask, the more clearly your compass starts to point back to you. And if you're ready to go deeper, if you want to learn the one question that first led me back to myself, I made this video for you. Thanks for watching.